ball there was taken well by Callan. Tamani did well, but Stuart Spruce settling well now at Bradford. Tremendous try. McNamara, the long ball out wide. You can see how Sodji is just left all on his own there. And Scales appeared to perhaps pull up very quickly. McNamara, the key to it again. It was a superbly weighted kick. Callan took it, a la Australian style. Bit of a dummy there from Tamani and a fumble. But Spruce gets them flying again.
Great try from Stuart Spruce. He's scored in every game now for Bradford Bull since his move from Widnes. And Steve McNamara, 1 from 1. This time he tries his luck from the other side of the field. That's got chances as well. That's got 2 points. Great kick from McNamara. Bradford, after going behind early, have hit back remarkably. 12-6. Well, we thought before the match there might be a feast of scoring here at Odsal today, and so it's proving so far. 3 tries in the opening 10 minutes. And the ball's lost, but it was reached out, and it was a 2-man tackle. It's a penalty to the Eagles.
Dragged out there, Fairbank got the fingertips to it. Broadbent couldn't do anything about it. 3 men on. Remember, the ruling is that only man on man, 1-on-1, where you can reef the ball away. Fairbank, the culprit. Well, it's hot conditions out there, perfect for keeping this ball alive, and that's what both sides are doing. Spinning in the tackle, quick play of the ball, they're trying to keep it alive. It's great entertainment.
And that's a lovely ball from Aston to feed Matt Crowther, and Matt Crowther has broken through, and Matt Crowther scores a great try. Oh, this match is fantastic at the start here. 4 super tries, and Matt Crowther with the latest.
Well, you can see what Matt Crowther's been doing in his spare time, and that's sprint training. That was absolutely unbelievable speed. He took a short ball from the halfback, Mark Aston, and really hit top speed. Did well, did he keep the ball alive. He switched it. Look at him put on the gas there. Bang! Robbie Paul is no slouch. Neither is Stuart Spruce. They could not get anywhere near him. Super tough, keeping it alive. What a beautiful delayed pass from Aston. But that is speed. Whoa, look at him go. Wonderful try. What a game.
Matt Crowther with the try then, and Mark Aston now trying to level it all up again. Well, everyone's on form today. Aston gets another 2, and it's 12 points all at Odsal. Aston restarts. Entertaining stuff here at Odsal. This sun-drenched crowd enjoying every minute of it so far.
Tremendous build-up, a steel band, carnival atmosphere, and the players are playing their part too. This is really thrilling stuff.
This is Doniger. He takes the tackle though from Andy Hay. Lowe's to McNamara and then to McDermott. McDermott spins the ball into the arms of Bernard Dwyer, and Bernard Dwyer's off. Could this be another try? Callan takes it on, and good tackling back by Sovatabua, the Eagles full-back. Here come the Bulls again. McNamara really been the fulcrum of the Bulls' attack so far, and they're offside, Sheffield Eagles.
Good refereeing by Stuart Cummings there, allowed the advantage.
Quick tap penalty, and that's a try for Lachlan. McNamara, quick thinking again. He took the quick tap. He caught Sheffield backpedaling, floated the ball out wide to Lachlan, and Lachlan did the rest. Well, it's end-to-end stuff in a big way here.
Well, I can't believe Bright Sodji. I don't know whether he's fallen out with the touchline, but he doesn't want to stay out there, that's for sure. The big centre, Paul Lachlan. But McNamara, he's having a whale of a game.
Paul Lachlan missed the last 2 matches, but back today and back with a bang with that try. Well, Steve McNamara has been involved in everything that Bradford Bulls have done today so far, and here he is now with the chance of another 2 points, and he sweeps the ball in beautifully. He's yet to miss. Bradford 18-12. And the great crowd here at Odsal is appreciating all of this. So Bradford back in possession. Lachlan releases the pass. Donegal. He loses it. Tried to force the pass when he should have taken the tackle. But it's entertaining stuff, Steve-O, just the same.
It's all coming about by this quick play of the ball. They're working very hard. Stuart Cummins is trying to get them back on the 10, but by the time he gets there, the ball's already been played.
Well, two sides who really have embraced all that is good about Super League on show here. And Bradford Bulls at Odsal have certainly turned this into a palace of entertainment in this part of the world, both before and during the game. And the crowds who are turning up, and they're flocking in here, they are being richly entertained. Meanwhile, Bradford caught offside, and the Eagles take a quick tap penalty with Lawless.
Both sides want to get on with it. It was good work by the hooker. You could see that Bradford was slow.
Spurn the opportunity of two. They want the full 6, and they might well get them. That was a good jinking run in the end from Crowther. Just held up a metre short of the line. Farrell trying to burrow his way to the line. I think he has tried to claim the try, but the referee, Stuart Cummins, says he wasn't over the line. Broadbent might be. Aston might be. They are now. Garcia. Jean-Marc Garcia burst onto the pass, and he gets the next try.
Once again, quick play the ball, switching of the play as well. It was Aston that threw the dummy. Shawwal to Broadbent, back on the inside. They failed to move up. You could see them hanging around. Bradley was the culprit. But the Frenchman, Jean-Marc Garcia, this is Farrell going very close. I tell you what, fractions away. But nevertheless, they played the ball from here. And the way that they're switching it, Aston, he's the architect, the big forward back again. And Aston finds the Frenchman.
And Garcia obliged with his 8th try in Super League. Mark Aston, 2 goals from 2. And this to level it up again. 3 from 3. It's 18 all. Rich entertainment at Odsal. Bernard Dwyer gets the possession from the scrum, and he just dropped the ball then, trying to give it to Robbie Paul. That was suicide in his own 20-metre area. And there's another problem. It is play on.
Yeah, man on man. Well, they've got away with it. Bernard Dwyer, he couldn't believe it that he tried to get the ball away, but that's good defence by the Eagles. What on earth he was thinking there? He just picked the ball up from the base of the scrum. Whew. Talk about giving a fright for your coach, Brian Smith. He wouldn't enjoy that.
Well, I was wondering about that, Steve-O, when you mentioned the two coaches. I mean, it's rich entertainment for us and terrific for the fans on the terraces. But what about the coaches? What do you think their view of all this will be?
Well, the attack is absolutely brilliant, but they realise that they've got to try to slow things down if they can and hold the player down just for a fraction without upsetting the referee.
Tamani kept hold of that brilliantly. Tamani inside to Robbie Paul, and Robbie Paul's going to score another. Well, Joe Tamani, he must have come out with super glue on his fingers because he kept hold of that ball somehow and then flicked the pass inside to his skipper. Robbie Paul's 9th of the Super League.
Well, this is the second occasion that Tamani has juggled with the football and got away with it. But he did well, accelerated, tremendous support play by Robbie Paul. But again, we see the switchback on the inside. Beautiful play. Oh, that is great support play by Robbie Paul. There's no one at home. Well, it looked like it was an awful mistake, didn't it? But it was James Lowe's that got the ball back for them. And the man who'd made the mistake, the second rower, Bernard Dwyer, set it all away. Tamani did well, and so did Robbie Paul.
Great try from Paul, created for him by the Fijian, Joe Tamani. And shielding their eyes from the sunlight, Stuart Cummins the referee, Steve McNamara the kicker. He missed it. Sun obviously a problem there. 22 points to 18. First mistake Steve McNamara has made. This is Sovatabua. Medley the man who measured him up and tackled him. Lawless the dummy half to Aston. The ball to Hughes is dropped. Bradford have it back again. This is Spruce.
There's good work here. You can see that it was Bradley that reefed it away. Man and man, that's okay.
Tamani's through again. And he gets the pass away to Stuart Spruce, who stayed up there in support. And it was a desperate tackle from Sovatabua. But here comes Callan now. And Callan is held up just 4 metres short of the line. Good tackling by Danny McAllister. Lowe's the dummy half. McNamara, the ball bouncing to nobody in particular. It comes back out on the Bradford way. This is Scales, and Scales gets another. Well, this is quite remarkable, this match. John Scales with the try. The ball spilled. It bounced back, though, for Bradford, and Scales picked up and said, thanks for the present.
Well, they made a right meal of it. Steve McNamara wanted a dummy runner. It went to ground, and the Eagles, I'm afraid, were flying rather than grounding things. They really should have taken that loose ball, but Jonathan Scales went on with the business. He was looking for a short runner, and they got confused. Lachlan went back on the inside, and they really should have put the body on the line for that football. Keith Senior made a meal of it. He didn't.
John Scales then with another try, and he hasn't scored for 3. The sun momentarily has gone in behind a little cloud. McNamara, though, this time way out on the far touchline. Difficult angle for him, but he kicks it. Well, he missed one from a far easier position just a few seconds ago, and he planted that one over from the touchline. Bernard Dwyer picks himself up, plays the ball to James Lowes. Lowes then to McNamara, to Bradley, over the top of Tamani it goes. And this is Matt Calland. Tamani must have heard the shout because his hands shot up. And Gary Hetherington watching from his vantage point here at Odsal. And he can't be too pleased with what he's seeing so far. Bradley with a good run, halted by the tackle from Dixon. And that's another try, and James Lowes showing just how alert he is around the play of the ball. The Eagles were backpedaling. Lowes saw the hole and shot through it.
They paid the price for not getting the penalty in touch. Quick thinking again, quick play of the ball, and James Lowes has been a revelation since he switched from Leeds. Quick thinking, no work from the second marker at all. They were caught napping. He'll be happy.
Now it's McNamara again. 4 out of 5. He missed an easy chance, but he's kicked them from both touchlines today. And he kicks another. 34 points to 18. And we're still 7 minutes from half-time. Robbie Paul. It's all one-way traffic at the moment. Scales taking on Sodji and nearly getting through. Linton Stott came across to help out. This is Calland. Calland with a crossfield ball looking for Tamani again. He gets the pat back to Bradley. Bradley looks for support. It arrives from Calland. And that's going to be 6 more for Bradford, but they might not need them. Lowes. Scrambling defence from Sheffield. They really are under the cosh. Medley trying to go on his own to the corner. He's just tumbled onto his back. It's Joe Tamani, the dummy half. He spins it into the arms of McNamara again. Lovely step from McNamara. Robbie Paul, a brilliant try. Second from Robbie Paul. Great try from Bradford. They spun the ball across the face of play, and McNamara's having a wow of a game.
It all came about because they got 6 more tackles from there. The Sheffield player that just touched it, Bradley, kept it alive. Well, you may as well give the man of the match award to this fella already, Steve McNamara. He just threw the dummy and stepped round Anthony Farrell back on the inside. Great stuff. The way that the Bulls are switching this play, running the angles, a long ball out wide. That was tremendous skill by the Louth forward, McNamara. He's having a fine game.
Robbie Paul scored it, though, his second. But Steve McNamara, the man who played for England in the second row against France, is looking for another cap against the Welsh on Wednesday and is playing so well. Phil Larder will be hard pushed to deny him. 40 points to 18. What a first half this has been. Well, next weekend we will see both the newcomers to Super League here on Sky Sports. Friday, we're at Oldham against Paris at Boundary Park. That's Oldham Athletics ground. And on Saturday at 5:30 we'll be at the Valley. That's the home of Charlton Athletic Football Club and the London Broncos these days, when the Broncos take on Bradford Bulls. And in this form, that will be quite a battle down there in London on Saturday. That's the half-time siren. And what a half it has been. Arguably the most entertaining first half we have had in Super League here on Sky Sports this season. Robbie Paul and Paul Loughlin, two of the try scorers. Paul Broadbent, the Sheffield Eagles captain. And John Scales also has worked very well out here on the left wing. Great half from both these sides that has kept the crowd entertained from start to finish. And Bradford are ahead by 40 points to 18. Well, a breathtaking first half, and what are we in store for in the second 40 minutes? Bradford scoring at the rate of a point a minute in the first 40, ahead by Sheffield 40 points to 18. And terrific half-time entertainment here at Odsal as well, which really does keep the crowd entertained. And Graham Bradley has been withdrawn by Brian Smith. Glenn Tomlinson then comes off number 2. There he is, just running out of the screen. It's the Eagles, though, who are in possession, and Gary Hetherington, Steve-O, must surely have told them to work harder now in defence.
He's got to. He would have been displeased with what he's seen in the first 40 minutes. They've not worked hard from the second marker, and I'm sure he would have concentrated on that in the half-time talk.
Mistake from Tamani, that touched the fingers, that's a knock-on. First mistake that he's made all day. He had a couple of fumbles first half, but managed to retain possession, but not that time.
Tried to take it on the half volley, unsuccessful. And as Eddie mentioned, that's the first mistake of the game, because it had a fine match so far. Pretty hard man to stop. Tough, strong and fast.
Farrell gets the ball from the back of the scrum for the Eagles. So they're in the 20-metre zone with 5 more tackles to go. And this is Mick Cook. Handling errors all square. They've both made 5. Lawless at dummy half. Aston and Broadbent. Dixon again. Dixon, of course, former Bradford player himself, has to take the tackle in the end.
He was looking for the second phase of attack, but it was non-forthcoming.
Lawless with a scampering run from the play the ball. Aston directing the operations there now. He pointed one way and has come the other. And it's come up for him. Cassini gets the try. Well, I wonder whether he did fool the Bradford defence then, because he pointed right, and as soon as he got the ball in his hands, he came left. And Keith Senior was there for the try.
Good work from Aston from the dummy half. You can see he threw the ball back on the outside, and Senior took it well. It really was great work there. Long ball out wide. You can see that it pulled him on the inside. Super stuff there. What a way to bounce back in the opening minutes. Good play by Lawford. Pulled it through. And they're back. Well worked try.
Stuart Spruce, the man with the blank jersey in this second half of Bradford, had no answer to Senior's power then. So Mark Aston now with the conversion attempt. 3 out of 3 so far. And he hits the post. He was so close to 4 out of 4. 40 points to 22 now. But Sheffield are back in the hunt, started the second half. This is Loughlin. 10 metres inside the Eagles' half. He plays it to Lowe's, who finds Robbie Paul. Paul then to Tomlinson, back on the inside to Fairbank.
Better defence, they spotted that. They knew the switch was coming from Tomlinson. There was 3 waiting for Fairbank then.
McNamara just manages to hang on, but it's much better defence from Sheffield at the start of this second half.
So I must say that the Bulls are a little bit flat this second half. They really aren't standing as far back as they were in the first 40.
Lowe's again, misses out Tomlinson, finds Paul, he finds Calland. Calland has got men either side, one of them is Medley. Medley looked to get the ball away, but Garcia was the man who picked up the loose pass.
Well, Brian Smith, the Bulls coach, won't be happy with that.
That ball wasn't played, but Stuart Spruce had hold of Garcia's shirt anyway.
Callan did well to get it on the inside, but why they try to keep it alive from there is anybody's guess. I know it was on the last one, but they would have been better served just to have gone down and had their handover and get their defence sorted out.
Here's Lawford again. James Lowe's just stood his ground and then flung him to earth. Aston scampers away. Oh, crunch tackle from Doniger. Ball spills out.
He felt that as well, Aston. Ball and all. Well, he's the man. He's got the skills as Mark Aston. 3 handling errors so far, but he's been very creative. And he's the man that can lead the Sheffield Eagles back into this game.
Here's Tomlinson, starting to find his feet in Super League after his move from Batley. Lowe's gets the ball away, and that was Doniger again. Lowe's in at dummy half. He pushed Loughlin out of the way. This is Loughlin. His kick through hits an Eagle's foot. It's still on the last tackle. They're still running it. And still with McNamara, and McNamara over the top to Spruce, who will get another. And that's Spruce's second. And Bradford respond with a try of their own.
Another power play by the Bradford Bulls rather than kick on the last tackle. It came about from the grubber kick to start with, but they opted to run it. They run on the blind side, and once they switch it across, the fullback Spruce had stretched the defence. Good thinking by the hooker James Lowe's. He's having a fine game. Picked it up again, kept it alive. They were always going to be at 6s and 7s the defence. Senior Dickwood had nothing to do there. He was left all on his own. Sodgy arrived too late.
Spruce with the 8th Bradford try today. They're on their way to their 10 again because they've scored 10 in each of the last 3 home games. McNamara, 6 out of 7. Been playing so well, kicking excellently. Just 1 miss. And this another difficult chance for him. And he just pushes it wide of the post this time. So it's 6 out of 8 for Steve McNamara, but 44-22 for Bradford against Sheffield. This is Sovatabua now. Paul leading the way with the fullback Stuart Spruce. Oh, that was just a bit forward. Only about 2.5 yards, and Aston knows it.
Delayed the pass far too late.
So more pressure coming in here on this Sheffield Eagles defence. Robbie Paul. Paul dancing around Senior on a hat-trick, of course, Paul. But takes the tackle. Sonny Nicol, his first touch, gives it to Doniger. It was a good shout. And Doniger gets there! Good second effort from Jeremy Doniger. It looked like he was tackled. He seemed to take the ball up and over the top of the defender's head. No double movement, he just plonked it over the line.
Good switch to the blind side. You can see Nicol saw him too. That was a good run. Aston tried to get to him. 1 knee down and he just stepped over. The ball carrying arm never touched the ground. It was a good switch there to the blind. They were caught again and he just steps out. Great strength. But it was a run that counted. Defended off Aston through the dummy, and bang, it was all one movement.
Try from Jeremy Doniger then. The try against Castleford last Sunday, his 6th in Super League there. McNamara, 6 from 8 today. Another difficult attempt for him. Up he comes, stuttering run. Gets closer, but not quite close enough. 48 to 22. Still a long way to go for Sheffield. Their agony will continue. Sonny Nicol. Only a place on the bench, but he was injured at Wembley, you may remember, and he hasn't started since. James Lowes, who couldn't play at Wembley. Neither could Tomlinson or McNamara. But this fella could and did. Donegal. And he's got the ball back, Sodji. Now, it was stolen by Sodji, and it was a two-man tackle. Sodji saying the ball had come free.
Yep, Aston in attendance as well. Sodji reefs it away. I don't know why it took a long time for Stuart Cummings to whistle on that, but he did look to the assistance of the touch judge. Bad mistake by Sodji. Not had the best of games, especially in defence. He's been caught out a couple of times.
Well, Stuart Cummings, to be fair to him, had moved back the Sheffield defence 10 metres and then had the hand up for the last tackle. He wasn't expecting that. But once he checked with the touch judge, it was a penalty, and this is Medley. And Medley gets the 10th. Bradford hit their average for Odsal matches, and substitute Paul Medley steamed in for that one. Well, no wonder they're flocking down to Odsal, because this really is entertaining stuff from the Bradford Bulls.
He won't mind me saying this, but the old stager, he went through there, the swinging arm of Ian Hughes, he ducked underneath, and I'm afraid the fullback, Sowateboa, couldn't do anything about it. He had the momentum, the little legs were pumping. Look how he ducks under this one. Woeful attempt there from Hughes. Determined run. I'm going to get there, and the crowd loved that, and I know one guy who did too, Paul Medley.
Well, he has a great record as a try-scoring forward. That's his 92nd try for the Bradford Bulls. McNamara, he seems to be taking all his conversion attempts this half from this side of the field, and from that position he had 2 and missed. Third time lucky. 54-22. Linton Stott takes the tackle from Lachlan. Dixon drives the ball in again for the Eagles. Credit them, they're not throwing the towel in, they're trying to produce something. But all they do at the moment is produce error after error. Anthony Farrell, that culprit.
It's been another problem from the Eagles, the failure to play out their complement of 6. Possession is vital.
11th handling error that by the Sheffield Eagles. Stuart Spruce again for Bradford. Always a man waiting, lurking in support. This time it's Lachlan, and he takes the tackle from those 3.
I've been impressed the way that the Bulls have spun in the tackle as well and offloaded.
McNamara stood, got it out to Robbie Paul, who gets it out to John Scales. Scales has got Sowateboa to beat, and does easily. Second try for Scales. That was sheer determination from the winger. Sowateboa came across, made an attempt, but Scales was not going to be denied.
Beautiful hands out wide. McNamara, then you'll say Paul, quick hands, and Scales. It's like a runaway truck. One straight line in and out. Sowateboa hesitated. Sodji came too late. This is beautiful passing. McNamara, see how he sucked in 2 players. Paul sucked in the winger. They try to come back. Sodji too late. Sowateboa, not the best attempt. Excellent skills. This man's had a fine game, McNamara, but look at that beautiful pass out wide. They say that centres don't create room for the wingers these days. Well, they have today. Good try.
John Scales getting the pat on the back from Paul Loughlin for the try. So Steve McNamara, apparently with his sights set on this side of the field, now gets the opportunity from the other side of the field. They're not making it easy for him today, but he's got a 7 from 10 return. And that one hit the post. It was so nearly 8 from 11. He has kicked well. He has played well.
Good defence. They're just making the Eagles go down the middle. Quick out wide. Shortening the angles in there. Oh, what an awful mistake there. Well, he's worked hard as Mark Aston.
He just tried to hurry it, wasn't he?
Yeah, you could see he was looking at where he was perhaps going to kick.
So another opportunity then for Bradford Bulls. Aston's 5th handling error. This is Sonny Nicol. Strong run from Nicol, spun in the tackle, got the pass away to Calland. Long ball from Calland to Lowe's. It went backwards. Dwyer rather is able to continue the movement going again. Back to Loughlin.
Well, that's been a new feature in this Super League from the Bradford Bulls. The way that they twist in the tackle, keep the ball alive, and they've got support. It's been very impressive.
Tomlinson, and almost through the gap was Donegan. Tomlinson arrives in support. He kept the run going, and Tomlinson gets the dozen. 12 tries for Bradford Bulls. The crowd thrilled by this, and so they should be.
Good work by Tomlinson, put it out wide. And the big fella, Donnelly, did really well, and so did the substitute. Tomlinson went in, he used the referee well. Super stuff. Tomlinson through the dummy. The big second row gets it away. He's had a fine game, Donahue. But see how Tomlinson uses the referee. Run the angle. Shut it down. Good curved run.
Well, he knows where the try line is, does Glenn Tomlinson. He scored over 90 for Batley. And another good crowd here at Odsal. 8,500 or thereabouts for this visit of the Sheffield Eagles. They have certainly embraced all that is good about Super League here at Odsal. The pre-match entertainment, the entertainment on the field, of course, which is of paramount importance, and the half-time. And as they go home tonight, the crowd will be entertained as well. It's been a super day out. And Paul Cook, from bang in front, adds another 2 points to that Bradford total. 64 points to 22. And come on, you Bulls, they shout, as Bradford gets the possession back. Not the best kick from Aston, and Donegan read it perfectly.
Did well, he juggled well. Third attempt, got to it. He's worked well as Donahue, not only in attack but also in defence. We mentioned the key area where he loves to run out wide amongst the centres.
Lowe's to Robbie Paul and Tomlinson. Nicol.
He was a bit flat there with Sonny Nicol. Should have been coming from a lot further back onto the pass from Tomlinson.
Robbie Paul. Back to Bernard Dwyer. Dwyer again looking over the shoulder. All the time when they've taken the tackle, Bradford, they're looking round for the second phase of attack. There it was again, but Lowe's lost it that time.
But again, we see cheap meters made from dummy half from the hooker. He's had a fine game. Offside, they didn't go back the complement of 10.
And Steve McNamara rightly has been adjudged as the Bradford Bulls man of the match. He has left the field, of course, now, just having a breather on the bench. But his contribution to this victory has been immense.
Had a superb 40 minutes. That first half, he was involved in everything.
The Eagles trying to get something late on. Their last win here in the Yorkshire Cup in 1992. Their only league win, February 1991, 10-6. Slightly more points scored here today. This is Dixon. Up the middle he goes. Lowe's wouldn't be denied though. Tackle coming in on him. Now Lawford spreading the play out wide. This is Linton Stott.
Well, this is one of the few occasions that the Eagles have played out their 6.
And the kick. Crossfield kick. Bounces kindly for Garcia. He's hugging the touchline. He's in touch. Good defence again.
Frenchman Garcia was injured about 5 or 6 minutes ago. Found himself. They put him out on the wing rather than the centre. Definitely in touch, or spotted by the touch judge. Well, the Bulls will be eager to notch up the 70, I'm sure. Sheffield will be wanting to slow things down.
But I think that it's full time. The siren has sounded and it's all over. And a thoroughly comprehensive performance from Bradford Bulls that has enthralled this big shirt-sleeved crowd at Odsal. James Lowe's has played his full part, as has Steve McNamara and all the Bradford Bulls players. No fewer than 12 tries. Sheffield swapped punches with them early on until the 20th minute, and after that Bradford pulled away and they won, in fairness and in truth, at a canter. 64 points to 22, a dozen tries. Paul 2, Spruce 2, Scales 2, McDermott, Laughlin, Lowe's, Donegan, Medley and Tomlinson. The goals from McNamara and Cook. Sheffield, they battled bravely early on. Farrell, Crowther, Garcia and Senior. Aston kicked 3 goals and another fine attendance here at Odsal. That's the situation here then. Now let's wrap up the rest of this weekend's results.
And first of all to Friday, that great win, 35-19 for Wigan over St Helens in front of over 20,000 people at Central Park. On Saturday it was Leeds 25, Castleford 18 as we saw on Sky, and in Paris a close run thing, Paris 24, Warrington 26, just 2-point winners. Today, as we've seen, Bradford 64, Sheffield 22, and elsewhere Halifax 14, Oldham 20, Workington Town 6, and London back in winning ways 34. So that leaves St Helens at the top of the table, but just by 1 point, 24 to Wigan's 23. They just ahead of Bradford, Warrington, London and Sheffield. Whilst at the bottom, it's Oldham ahead of Castleford, Halifax, Leeds and Paris. Workington still at the bottom after that defeat by London. In the first division, just 4 games today. Batley 24, Dewsbury 29, Featherstone 24, Wakefield 24, Keighley 42, Rochdale 12, Widnes 20, and an important win for Salford, 32. So Salford top of the table on 22 points, ahead of Keighley on 19, Featherstone in 16, alongside Hull also on 16. Huddersfield and Widnes make up 5th and 6th. Whilst at the bottom, Rochdale glued to the bottom of that table, just behind Batley, Whitehaven, Dewsbury and Wakefield. In Division 2 on Friday night, it was Doncaster 19, Chorley 16, whilst today Bramley 0, Hunslet 56, Carlisle 50, Barrow 18, Hull Kingston Rovers 58, York 6, Swinton 30, Lee 14 and South Wales 50, Prescott 18. And in the table that leaves Hull KR at the top on 24 points, alongside Hunslet, Swinton, Doncaster, Carlisle and York make up the top 6. Whilst at the bottom, Prescott again glued to the bottom with Barrow just behind Chorley.